It was a cool autumn evening when the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows over the sprawling highway just outside of Denver. A rough and tumble motorcycle gang known as the Black Reapers roared down the road, their engines snarling like beasts. They had a reputation violent, unpredictable, and always looking for trouble. Tonight was no different. They were fresh out of a bar fight in the next town over, their adrenaline high, ready to pick a fight with anyone who dared cross their path. As they neared the edge of town, the lead biker, Razor, spotted a military Humvee parked off the side of the road near a dirt trail. It seemed out of place. No one ever stopped here, especially not in the middle of nowhere. Razor had been drinking, and the booze in his veins amplified his reckless courage. He nodded to his crew, signaling for them to slow down. "Let's have some fun," Razor grinned. "They'll never know what hit 'em." The bikers swerved toward the parked vehicle, their engines roaring louder as they circled it like predators closing in on prey. Inside the Humvee sat Sergeant Alex Carter, a decorated soldier who had just returned from a high-stakes anti-terrorism operation in the Middle East. He was a man of few words, but his experiences had forged him into someone you didn't want to mess with. Despite the eerie silence of the desolate road, he was always alert, his instincts honed after years of training. He watched them approach. His fingers brushed against the handle of the M4 carbine resting beside him, but he didn't make a move. He wasn't scared. But these bikers? They were about to learn something they hadn't bargained for. Razor pulled up next to the Humvee, kicking up dust as he revved his engine. "What's up, soldier?" he shouted, his voice laced with mockery. "Lost or just hiding out?" Carter didn't respond immediately. His eyes, cold and calculating, stayed locked on Razor. "You got a problem, punk?" Razor sneered, leaning over to shout at the soldier. "Still no response. All right, I see how it is," Razor growled, signaling for the others to surround the Humvee. They began shouting and revving their engines, trying to intimidate the lone soldier. But Carter's calm remained unshaken. He knew what these men were, just a bunch of cowards looking to get a rise suddenly. Razor motioned for one of his men, a hulking figure named Thor, to approach. Thor swaggered up to the driver's side, slamming his hand on the window. "Hey," Freaky said, his voice low and menacing. "You got a death wish." That's when Carter made his move without hesitation. He yanked the door open, catching Thor by surprise. With the fluidity of someone who had been through countless dangerous situations, Carter slammed his fist into Thor's gut, knocking the wind out of him. Thor stumbled back, gasping for air before the other bikers could react. Carter was out of the Humvee, moving like a blur. His military training kicked in. The years of combat had made him faster, sharper, and more ruthless than they could ever imagine. One of the bikers lunged at him with a knife, but Carter grabbed his wrist, twisting it and disarming him in a single motion. The man howled in pain as his weapon clattered to the ground. Carter's knee met his attacker's chest, sending him sprawling. The remaining bikers hesitated, unsure of what to do. Razor, seeing his crew falter, revved his engine and shouted, "Come on, boys! Let's show him what happens when you mess with the wrong people." But it was already too late. Carter moved with military precision. He took down the